taurine toxicity. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. These substances have never before been an integral part of human and animal diet, and therefore health consequences for those who consume them, especially over long periods. Now, this is very simple. If you produce a pharmacological variety of corn that produces a pesticide within it, or if you produce corn that will live when everything else dies when you spray herbicide on it, and it absorbs it, obviously it's going to attack the liver and kidneys and the blood. I mean, this is a 2-year-old can figure this out. Other bugs, and I've, again, interviewed top German scientists who first exposed this 5 years ago, other bugs will not eat this corn, or and they won't go to the corn pollinization process. Bees will. And the poor little guys are dying, and they've done maps of the areas where these corn are grown. I mean, you know, Monsanto knows what it's doing. It's like Satan runs it. We know Rumsfeld previously did. I mean, literally, is Satan in a red pajamas at the boardroom with his feet up? This is the corn that's in most our food. They know what they're doing. They don't care. I mean, Mike Adams, I had a magazine reporter interviewing me last night, and I kept saying, he said, you know, you can't just say Monsanto's doing this and knows what they're doing. You can't, that's irresponsible. And I said, sir, it's mainstream news. And he just looked at me like I was crazy, because he can't believe, because he's a nice person, that this is really going on. I mean, folks, it's going on, okay? Mike Adams.
Well, people need to understand that human nature can be far darker than you've been led to believe. If you live in a civilized society, you don't see what goes on behind the closed doors of corporate boardrooms, where the real selfishness and the evil and the destructiveness of some of these individuals is unleashed through their corporate agendas. And I agree with you that Monsanto, in my opinion, is one of the most dangerous corporations on our planet. And they are, in my view, poisoning the food supply. I hope, I don't know if you've had Jeffrey Smith on your show from seedsofdeception.com, right?
We sell it. We sell his books and videos.
Everyone needs to read his material and watch his documentaries. He presents information that will blow your mind. And it's so shocking that the mainstream journalists just can't accept it. And it gets back to this question of what is wrong with people's thinking skills these days. How come they can't question things? Like,
close to 90% of people in San Diego that were interviewed said ban free speech.
Yeah, I remember Dice was out there trying to sell an ounce of gold, a gold coin for what, $50 or $20. It was an ounce of gold. It's worth, what, $1,100 or more. No one would buy it. I mean, what's wrong with people these days? I don't have the answer to that, Alex.
The average adult watches 2.5 hours. This is the latest numbers from 2009 from Nielsen. 2.5 hours of Internet TV a week, 4.5 of television. They're mesmerized. They're not awake. People are zombies.
Yeah, they really are. And I think if you remember the old zombie movies and the zombies attack, and you would have fields of mindless people wandering around society, attacking each other, that really isn't too far off from what may be coming at some point here in the real world, with just people not having the ability to think for themselves, to question the information they're given, to even take care of their own bodies or immune systems, or to defend themselves against bad information that's coming their way. I've seen America, many Americans have fallen asleep. They've forgotten what America stands for, which is rugged individualism, liberty, freedom, thinking for yourself, and standing up against tyranny rather than conspiring with it. And I just hope that in our lifetimes, Alex, hopefully in the next few years, we can see Americans take back America, take back what it stands for, what it was founded on, and what we all are owed, our God-given rights to liberty, to health, to access to information. This is what we all deserve, and we must take it back, Alex.
Well, I want to say this to the police and military listening, who are going to be the enforcers of this system. You are drinking poison water. You are eating poison food. I know it's hard to believe. Please read the thousands of studies on GMO. I mean, I've interviewed former head scientist who would say it's killing half the rats. You can't approve this potato in the 1990s, and it's approved. You can't feed them this corn. It's killing the rats. And they do it.
But you see, part of it might be that they want to kill the rats, that we are the rats. we're the rats, and they want to kill us.
No, I know exactly. That's the end game. Mike, I know it's the end game. But I'm saying the average cop driving along right now, he's like, hey, my corn taco, you know, when he pulls into a Mexican food drive-through window, you know, it's fine. But no, it's turned out they sell this corn at below regular prices to all the major chains. This is what you're getting as food filler in cereals and in everything. I mean, and they're GMOing all the other major grains and the soybean, and they're now moving into hundreds of other things, and they're shutting the farms down. I mean, folks, you are being killed. I mean, and
sugar beets now, genetically modified sugar beets, are now approved and being used to produce processed sugar. So, you know, now you have what, high fructose corn syrup, which is called liquid Satan by some people because it's so bad for your health. And now you have genetically modified sugar as the mainstream sugar source in the food supply.
And then the Washington Post, I'm sorry to interrupt, then the Washington Post reported last year 50% of the corn syrup has high levels of mercury, and they don't know why. It's not even involved in the process. I mean, folks, they're hitting you and hitting you hard, and now we're exposing them, so they say, you know what, mercury's good. In fact, guys, pull up 50% of corn syrup has mercury, Washington Post for folks. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mike.
Well, the problem here is, and I understand this, but even people listening to this may be thinking to themselves, well, what am I supposed to do? It's so overwhelming. How do we decide what to trust, what to not trust? How do we feed our kids something that won't poison them? It's just so overwhelming. And there's too much conflicting information out there, but that's part of the game. The PR jackals for the processed food companies and chemical companies and drug companies, they want you to be confused. Because in your confusion, you will default to whatever you've been shown on television,
and
or whatever you've been told by authorities.
And, Mike, it's just like poisoning animals that they want to get rid of. They'll poison their water supply with a slow-acting poison. And so the animals don't drop dead right on the spot, so the wild dogs or whatever they're poisoning drink it and a month later die. And that's what the UN said they would do. I have all these government documents where they said we will introduce it into the food, into the water, and we will brain damage people and then kill them. And they're doing it. And the public can't even get angry right now because they're on a toxic sedative, fluoride.
That's exactly it. You nailed it. I mean, it's kind of a brilliant, evil genius conspiracy. It's to first numb the population and then just sort of kill them off slowly through the food supply. Well, they've already accomplished most of that goal, and the rest is coming. There's a Batman episode, one of the Batman movies, where the bad guy says, yeah, we staged the Gulf of Tonkin, we staged terror attacks. This is from the early 90s. And then he says, and we're going to put different poisons in different cosmetics, and they'll never know. Then we'll sell them the cure. They're just throwing it in our face what they're doing.
Of the 3 million plus edible food plants that grow on Earth, no other single plant can compare with the nutritional value of the powder, seeds, and oil of the hemp plant. At hempusa.org, we ship worldwide these nutritional products with free shipping to the U.S. and Canada. At hempusa.org, we want to educate our listeners that edible hemp is not marijuana and is certified THC-free. Our powder is 50% protein and does not contain gluten. Gluten impairs the cells from absorbing nutrients. This nutrient-dense food can be stored up to 5 years when vacuum-packed and is priced affordably to be used as a storable food. HempUSA.org is a bulk shipper starting with 5 pounds and up. To allow this food to work for you, call 908-691-2608 or go to hempusa.org and order today. The body will react and heal itself given the proper nutrition. This superfood will be your greatest asset. So try it today, store it today, and change your life. Call 908-691-2608 or order from hempusa.org.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Why is drinking pure high alkaline pH water the most important factor in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Because alkalizing water helps your body rid itself of acidic waste and increases the oxygen content of your body. Disease organisms like bacteria, viruses, and cancer cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals. Using AlkaVision pH drops is the best way to make your water alkaline to help you get rid of acid and regain your health and energy. Simply put 10 drops in the water you drink to raise the pH to an alkaline level. Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops now by going directly to AlkaVision.com. That's ALKA Vision.com. Or by calling 269-409-7